Hey everyone, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I want to get back to YouTube and I want to start with a video talking about kind of what happened to my reading in 2017, how that has affected my 2018 reading, and how that's going to affect my channel, my little tiny immaterial to YouTube's bottom line channel, no matter how unworthy I may be to their financial cost benefit relationship analysis. I will continue to stick around for whatever reason, and since I am deemed not worthy, then I will just let it all hang out. You feel me? So basically in 2017, I began to notice that I was experiencing a lot of what other booktubers had said they were experiencing. Some reader fatigue, just long droughts of not reading anything at all, really struggling to like what I was reading. And for me, that ended up in kind of taking my reading out of the public eye. But around May, I guess, I looked at the fact that I was hating, like I was giving 2 stars to pretty much every literary fiction novel I was reading, and these were books that were just hugely critically acclaimed. And while I still stand by the problems I had with some of those books, I do think a lot of it was just literary fiction fatigue. Like I had just been reading in that genre pretty exclusively. I mean, probably 80%, 85% of my reading is kind of what people thought of me here as on BookTube as a literary fiction booktuber. And I was just getting so frustrated with the literary fiction tropes, and no matter what you're reading, it's trope filled. That's just a common storytelling device. And I just didn't want to read about failed marriages and like middle-aged adultery and like really bleak, sad family sagas and all these things that just kind of crop up in literary fiction over and over and over again. I just wasn't in a headspace where that was fun and that I was finding any joy in. I mean, it was opposite. I was miserable. I was going through my own like physical and mental health things, and so that wasn't helping. And I quit cold turkey literary fiction. And when I say quit, I mean not just stopped reading. I mean deleted my wish list off the internet and started over, and getting rid of about 200 unread books out of my house. I mean, basically burning that shit down and starting over. And it was lovely. And I went straight into reading a bunch of more plot-driven stuff. I went into more genre fiction. I read a lot more YA, and I found joy in reading again in that journey. And so I think it just ties into the fact that when we get into a rut and when we do anything all of the time, over and over and over again, you're going to burn out on it. It doesn't matter what genre you're reading. If it's what you read all of the time, I just can't imagine that you don't get tired of it eventually. Maybe there are some people who can do that. I can't do that. So one of my biggest takeaways from 2017 and what you will see going forward in 2018 is that I will no longer be a literary fiction channel. There will still be literary fiction here. Spoiler alert, I have read 2 literary fiction novels since May, and I did enjoy both of them, but it's just not going to be like the bulk of my reading. It's just going to be here and there, along with a variety of other kinds of books and other genres. Because I've been really enjoying like science fiction and fantasy, both adult and YA. I have been trying out some mysteries, some thrillers. I have read some romance stuff. I've read a lot more comics. I've really gotten back into my happy comics land. So I just want that to be sort of kind of how I read, which is basically more mood reading. You know, it's paying attention to like where my head's at and what kind of attention I'm able to give a book, and also understanding that critical reading and like literary analysis and all of these things and learning something about the human condition are all great things we can get from reading. But it doesn't have to be the only reason we read. And sometimes just the joy of a fast-paced plot or the joy of loving a main character is enough. You know, sometimes you just need to escape. Sometimes you just need to laugh. Sometimes you just want to feel comforted. Like, all of those reasons to read are valid. And I think in this day and age, like, whatever brings you joy is what you should do. And so reading a variety of things is going to bring me joy. And so you're going to see lots of crazy different shit on this channel that you are not used to seeing. And hopefully I don't know, I think it will open up me more, like, to y'all, because I think I had, in only showcasing kind of very specific part of my taste, I think you also only see a very specific part of me. I think now opening this up to just every kind of book imaginable, you will see more of my like fangirly side and like just, I don't know, you'll just get to see more of me, I think. And so this will be a more authentic place for me to live in, which hopefully will keep me here more often than not. So yeah, and I've implemented several like reading rules that I've actually really followed through on. So like when I start a series, I work at making sure I get through the series sooner rather than later. If I subscribe to a book box, I have to read the book when I get it or I can't get the next one. And these things have been working and they've been great and I've enjoyed them and they have made me happy, not like, it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like exactly what I want to be doing. And that all leads into reading a book when you want to be reading the book. You know, like instead of buying a book and not reading it for 2 years, it's like buy the book and read the book, which is something I'm doing and it's great and I highly recommend it. That's not to say that I still don't have a bunch of unread books upstairs. I do, but I regularly cull now and I get rid of anything that just doesn't immediately scream at me to pick it up and to read it. It's okay. It's okay to know that once upon a time I might have really wanted to read that, but I just don't anymore, and someone else might, and I can donate it. So my house is full of books that I want to read. The only books I buy are books that I really want to read right now, and all of that is really working for me. And so yeah, expect just new horizons, new reading horizons here, and I will hopefully see you guys next with a book review, which I'm going to pretty much concentrate this channel on book reviews, the most unpopular booktube videos pretty much ever, which is fine when you're an unworthy nonsense channel who is not allowed to make money anymore. I can just do whatever the fuck I want because who cares? So I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna do book reviews and maybe some bookish chats, maybe talk about some other things and just enjoy my channel again. That's the best I can do. Anyways, you guys, thanks for listening to me and for sticking in there if you stuck in there. And it's okay if you click on subscribe because you don't even recognize who I am. It's fine. It's fine. And I will talk to you guys next video when I think I'm going to talk about Holly Black's The Cruel Prince. Bye, guys.